What's up, Masters? The multiverse is no longer just a promise, it's now an imminent threat that has us all on the edge of our seats. For months, the halls of Marvel Studios have been a total bunker of secrets, but the wall has finally cracked. The darkest and most revealing teaser trailer to date for Avengers, Doomsday, has just been revealed. And watch out, we're not just talking about any promotional clip, this is the official confirmation that the X-Men are not only in the movie, but are the centerpiece of the sacrifice that Robert Downey Jr., as the new Dr. Doom, plans to execute. This footage first appeared on social media with pretty disappointing quality. They were those typical theater recordings where you can barely distinguish silhouettes. However, after a digital cleanup process and an HD upscale that we managed to get, what emerges from the shadows is absolute madness. This teaser is part of the aggressive marketing strategy for this year's end. If you remember, we already saw a glimpse of Thor and Steve Rogers last week. But this third clip, the X-Men one, is what truly sets the stage for what will be the cinematic event of the decade. What makes this trailer blow our minds is the return of the holy trinity of mutants. Magneto with the legendary Ian McKellen, Professor Charles Xavier with Patrick Stewart, and the one many of us had already given up on, the return of James Marsden as Scott Summers, the Cyclops we all deserve to see, wearing a suit that is a genuine love letter to those of us who grew up with the comics in the 90s series. The trailer kicks off with a visual blow that leaves you cold. We see the iconic plaque of the Charles Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters, but there are no kids playing or training classes. The mansion is engulfed in flames. It's a massive fire, a visual desmadre, chaos that immediately makes you think of a global tragedy. The most interesting part is that this setting connects directly with the set leaks we saw during filming in the UK. Almost immediately, the camera pans down to the ground. We see the school sign, the one we always saw with pride on the gates, now lying in the mud, broken. In cinema, this is pure symbolism. The X-Men have been defeated before we could even celebrate their arrival in the MCU. It's a broken universe, a post-apocalyptic world that reminds us heavily of that heavy atmosphere from Days of Future Past. We move to a scene that stops your heart. We hear a voice that is already part of cinema history. Ian McKellen as Magneto drops a line that chills your blood. Death reaches us all. That is what I know for certain. The question is not whether you are prepared to die, but what would you be when you close your eyes? While we hear this, we see Charles and Eric sitting face to face. They aren't fighting. They're playing chess in what looks like a reinforced basement of the mansion. It's a moment of absolute calm before the world ends. We see a bearded Magneto, notably aged by years and battles, lifting a chess piece with his powers. It's a direct nod to the first X-Men movie from the year 2000. What's most moving is the human contact. These two lifelong enemies hold hands. It's the closing of a cycle, Masters. Patrick Stewart has already confirmed that this will be his last time wearing the X-Men logo. And the way we see him, with a blue jacket and the red logo, very different from what we saw in Doctor Strange 2, tells us that this is a Charles Xavier with a lot more lona recorrida experience, perhaps the one from the original timeline who survived everything imaginable. The piece of the basement is shattered when we return outside to the fire. And here appears the million-dollar shot, James Marsden as Cyclops. Forget those black leather uniforms from the Fox era. Here he sports a vibrant blue suit, totally inspired by X-Men 97. It's the pure 90s suit, without the yellow trunks on the outside, but with all the tactical essence of the comics. Scott Summers is suffering. He's on his knees, surrounded by the ashes of his home. In a cry of pure agony, he opens his eyes and releases his optic blast toward the sky. But what truly makes us jump out of our seats is what can be seen behind him. The giant legs of the Sentinels. This is where all the puzzle pieces come together. This teaser, which lasts barely a minute and 9 seconds, closes with a blunt message. The X-Men will return in Avengers Doomsday. But under what conditions? Rumors say that Victor Von Doom will arrive in this universe, possibly Earth 838 or the one we saw at the end of the Marvels, presenting himself as a false savior. He's going to sell the mutants the idea that he can save their reality from the incursions, but the truth is he has a much more macabre plan. It's said that Doom will take control of the Sentinels, reprogramming them to wipe out the two factions that could stand in his way. The Avengers coming from the main Earth and the X-Men who are defending their home. Doom doesn't need to fight alone. He uses his enemies' technology to finish them. Seeing Sentinels at the X-Mansion under Doom's command is a masterstroke by the Russo brothers to raise the stakes. It's not just a movie about heroes versus a villain. It's a war for survival where Doom is collecting pieces, like Cerebro, to build his own kingdom. Battleworld. Everything fits now, Masters. Beast's appearance at the end of the Marvels wasn't a mere whim. He is part of this resistance team, along with Cyclops, Charles, Magneto, and possibly Maria Rambeau. We're going to see these characters face off against the Avengers at first because of Doom's lies, creating the necessary chaos for the incursions to destroy realities so Doom can rise as the God Emperor. Get ready, because everything indicates that Avengers Doomsday is going to end with a cliffhanger just as heavy, if not more so, than Infinity War. Most likely, the movie will close with the total destruction of these realities and the creation of Battleworld, leaving us on the edge of our seats for an entire year. Until Secret Wars arrives, we are looking at the return of the crown jewel of Marvel. The X-Men are back, but not for a party, but for a tragedy that will redefine what sacrifice means. Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen saying goodbye, James Marsden giving Cyclops justice, and Robert Downey Jr. watching as everything burns. This trailer is proof that Marvel did listen to the fans. We wanted to see the classic mutants, we wanted comic fidelity, and a threat that truly made us afraid. With Doomsday, it seems we have it all. What do you guys think? Do you believe this is the definitive end for the Fox mutants to make way for something new? Or will it be the farewell that turns them into legends forever? The debate is open and the multiverse is about to snap. See you in the next video.